Well, EF Press back on the heath, that is Hampstead, and seeking some refuge from the events over the weekend, which started very well. You might have seen some of the clips at Belmarsh on Saturday, where a small number of us went to do the usual yellow ribbons for Assange vigil outside the prison. The local Greenwich police we spoke to were very clear in their explanations and willing to tolerate us, as it were, since I think there was only some 40 minutes left of the protest, which calmed them somewhat, as it were. Oh my God, it's a bit steep down here. You can't see bits of the heath. It's actually, that's level. It's a slope. Well, here we go. And should have come this way. Sorry about that. We're getting a little bit muddy and slippery and slopey here on the heath. Anyway, the Belmarsh, fine. A few of us from there made our way to Piccadilly Circus. We got there early, about 3:30ish. Couple of local Westminster police were there who weren't worried about us setting up a couple of placards and doing the usual banner thing. Unfortunately, at that moment, several vans worth of police further down the road appeared out of nowhere, and there was quite a lot of them, to inform us that we had to disperse, and the section 19 of the Coronavirus Act and various other bits and bobs of it were quoted as a legal justification, as it were. And I don't know, but when they grabbed Jill and were dragging her off in a quite violent fashion, I would say, in my experience, especially she is somewhat slight of frame, and the size of the two officers who were doing the most damage, they were huge. I mean, these were like nightclub bouncers. And as I made my inquiries as to her welfare with not my dad, Eric, I was asked for my details in order to issue a fixed penalty notice, which is one of the first go-to threats that the police make to members of the public, etc. Which I would not comply, because I was there not only as the police liaison officer for the Julian Assange Defence Committee, but also for my reporting for this channel and the agency or association that supplies other supporters and media people with images and clips. It's a job that EF Press does, and trying to focus the attention back on Julian Assange, HMP Belmarsh, who's been over a year on remand, not guilty of any offence in this country, and accused by the US of being a spy and a hacker, etc. Nonsense, really, for anyone who works in media knows that without your sources you haven't got your next lead story. And we focus back on him and his treatment. My treatment of being arrested was very mild, because I spent the 4 hours, apart from the hour and a bit in the cell, questioning the police as to their lawfulness and their participation. And to be honest, at least half of those I spoke to had some sympathy not only for the arbitrary nature of the arrests and the fining, but also that of free speech and the cause of Julian Assange. So some positives came out of Saturday night. I asked the question if they felt a freelance journalist, a liaison officer for the police service, gets arrested, and the good supporters there trying to make their case get arrested, then what message are we sending to people who are going to continue to get out in numbers, small or large, protesting what they believe a particular issue or issues? And certainly in our case with Julian Assange, we will have to develop the tactics and techniques that enable us to continue the public protest in whatever manner we can. So just a little update from the weekend. Bit of a slippery bit at one point. It's quite nice. And keep our thoughts up for Julian. Please do your best. Do what you can with your local and national representatives, definitely, and the ambassadors and those workers in key foreign ministries that are somewhat accountable for the nature of the punishments that Julian Assange is currently undergoing here in the UK, on the heath, on the beat. Be back.